would say the one that made me sit still for 2 straight days, I just sat next to him, was, when we did Farrakhan. He was there for about a week.
Wow.
Oh,
And I
wow.
don't know if people know he plays the violin, so we
Mhm.
worked on his album, and he's been there a couple times. So I literally just sat up there. And then the second time he came, I actually brought my wife and daughter to meet him.
Okay.
But on the music side, since I'm from LA, when we had Dr. Dre in town for a week, I mean, it was dope. It kind of really just it was an opportunity to see the whole city of Atlanta
Yeah.
pay homage to Dre. And, they booked out every room. They had different production stuff in the lounges. It was everybody came.
Yeah.
Wayne, T.I., the business, everybody you can imagine. And when I talked to people afterwards, they was like, it was dope. Dre was going from station to station, and he wasn't being critical. He was telling them what he would do to that record to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And so that was dope with him. And then for me, I didn't really believe that Twista can rap like that.
Oh, you thought he was punching
Man,
in?
I didn't know what
Yeah,
he
I
was
be
doing.
doing that
So
too.
I'm like, man, I'm about to sit in here and like, I literally went in, my default was, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you know what I
did that.
mean? And I was like, I'm open the curtain. I want to see him do that.
Yeah.
And he did it. And he 40, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, I think the biggest misconception, I thought Scarface was super serious.
Mhm.
All he do is tell jokes. And then I always tell people then when it was a Jeezy session and he had brought Jay-Z up there. And so he was like, Kurt, I want you to meet Jay or whatever. And I don't know what my expectation was, but it's 3 of y'all.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask y'all. I go in there. Jeezy's like, what's up, man? It's my homeboy, Kurt. So I slap Jay-Z hand. I say, Kurt, what do you think he said? How does he introduce himself?
Young. Oh.
Go. That's what you say?
Yeah.
Nope.
Jay.
Nope.
Sean.
That's what I thought. He was like, he dabbed me up. He was like, Hove.
That's all.
I said, man, come on, man. I thought he was gonna say Sean or Jay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? But
That's
I was
hard,
like,
though.
Oh.
I was like, man, you got to be kidding me, man. But some of the other people, Beyonce was there, Alicia Keys, Mariah Carey. Me, I love Patti LaBelle and Regina Belle. I used to go to sleep to Regina Belle's. And so when Regina came up there, the first 3 times she came, I was scared to say something to her.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
wouldn't talk to her, man. And then I finally, about the 5th time, I went up to her and I spoke to her. She was so kind and nice that when I saw Patti LaBelle, I had the confidence to speak to her. So I told Patti the story, and she was like, that's my sister. I'm so glad she didn't act like a diva towards you because you wouldn't have wanted to come up to me like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
those was real.
Do you
dope.
make it a point now to like any of your clients or the big clients that come in for you to like talk to them and introduce
If
yourself?
the
and,
bigger the
like-
client, I'm not going to talk to him.
I feel
Really?
that. Yeah, I feel
because
that. Okay.
because what it is like
I feel that.
it's weird. It's kind of like I said, it's like a restaurant. Some people want the chef to come out to the table, and some people don't. But the bigger the client is, what over my years, 28 years, what I've learned is, to book that, it goes through the office.
Right.
But the moment I go in there and introduce them and tell them I'm the owner, they don't want to call the office for anything
Right.
anymore.
They think because
They
we
just-
cool, or I met
They
you.
want to call
Right.
me to book time. They want to call me if they need a runner. They want to call me if they whatever. And I'm like, so it messes up the process. So
The
I kind
system.
of just like to be like, I don't even have an office anymore. I sit at the back desk. I be getting, especially when we shoot a lot of reality shows or TV shows or movies, it'd be people talking to me crazy. And I don't say nothing. They just think I'm an intern. They be having me, I be opening the gate, opening the door, getting them water, getting them cups.
You be
But that
keeping
shows
it
that you.
cool.
But that,
I like
but that
that.
also shows
Yeah.
that you still a
Well,
servant at heart.
what
you know
I
what mean?
don't like is when somebody else tell them, and then they want to have a whole conversation with me. And I just be like, you should treat everybody
Yeah.
the same way. Don't
Right.
man, they be like, oh, you own the place? Man, you know what, man? And then they
And the
hold,
energy- the whole
energy
literally,
change.
you can see they whole demeanor change. And then I just chalk them up and just be like,
That made me
I don't
not
really
like
like
it.
nobody like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't go in. I definitely didn't go when Beyonce was there. I didn't go in there when Mariah was there, and I didn't go in there when Alicia Keys was there, man. And the Mariah stuff was challenging because, it was a big deal, and they send you. We get a writer too for some artists, and hers was like 2 pages, man. And I remember they couldn't find a particular type of wine that she wanted here in town, and I was like, well, there's a Total Wine by my house. I'll just pick it up.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, they was like, well, she want 2 cases. And I'm like, it's gonna be like $300-400, man. It was $2,400.
Wow.
I came in there. I said, boy, y'all better reimburse me.
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
That's one of
I
the
need
things that
that.
you don't really hear about though until you actually see the other side of owning a studio that like having to have everything set up for an artist and make sure there's no
The
yellow
vibe is
gummy
good.
worms, or I won't be able to work. And it's like, you dead ass. You won't work if I don't get the yellow gummy bears.
Yeah, and then it's like, some of these artists, like, it's funny because the label will try to tell you, they'll have food budgets.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
I've
so,
seen
like, when we was working on R. Kelly, they would try to be like, it's $300, but R. Kelly would order. R. Kelly did our longest sessions, man. He was there for about 52 straight hours. He would have
Ooh-wee.
a set of engineers on his bus that would sit outside, and they would rotate every 12 hours. But, he would order Chinese food at lunch. It'd be 300, and then dinner it'd be 600. So then it was one time I would call the label. I said, okay, well, what do you want me to stop this? She was like, Curtis, what are we really going to do?
What are we really going to do, Curtis?
Do, you do it. So we as a business, you gotta
do it.
Well, as a world-class facility, that's the expectation. So
Yeah.
Mariah, we had to rent a $200,000 piano. We had to buy wine.
Damn,
We had to
boy,
have
what?
flowers. We had to have certain things. Alicia
Candles,
Keys wants definitely candles.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys wants certain lights, like little Christmas lights. You
Fine
have to,
women need these candles,
so it's
man.
like, so for me, I like that because the more demanding a client is, and we just do it, they happy. And I always tell people, it's like if you going out of town, when you open that hotel room, that door, that's gonna make or break your trip.
Right.
You open that hotel room and everything is in place, you in a good mood.
Good, yeah.
So when they come to the studio, they like, I know I done sent this writer a week ahead of time.
Mhm.
They looking to see if you have everything. So if you want to set the the temperature right, just get them it's the easiest thing. They very demanding.
Mhm.
They specific about what they want, down to the water, to the tea, to the temperature of the room. Just do it.
Yeah.
And then it makes everything go smooth.
Now on the studio side, you got your interns like getting it running and getting
We
the
call them
stuff,
staff assistants.
or staff
because,
assistants. Okay.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they go out and pick up stuff for them. You know, but like I said, they couldn't find it, so I didn't.
So
have no problem.
you'll go in when you need to.
When Dre came, it was back then on Sunday you couldn't get liquor.
Right. I
And
remember
on
that.
his rider,
Oh,
he
man.
wanted 3/5 of Tanqueray. So I went over to Justin's. Actually, Solomon is Jeezy's manager now, and Solomon gave me 3/5 of Tanqueray, and that got us through the Sunday. And then the rest of the week, we was able to go to the liquor store.
And look at that.
Yo, the stories.